Hi guys, it's Belle here and I am back with day 28, not many days to go guys, of Junk Journal January 2024, hosted by Meg Journals in collaboration with Get Messy Art. Please do check out all the links down below. And today's prompt is grungy. Now, I like grungy. I've done a few grungy spreads in this journal as it is, but in here I found this gorgeous eco dyes page. I don't want to use that side, it's so beautiful, but this gives me lovely grunge vibes. I really like it. I was tempted to stick it onto this page, but I think I'm just going to have it as a small page, and I am going to be working on it and things like that. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to do is I have some vintage photos and I'm trying to decide which one I want to use. They're not very clear, these vintage photos of, you know, they're a bit boring, not brilliantly clear. And I have this tea bag that I've stamped this beautiful tulip onto, and I'm wondering about putting that on there, and I think I'm going to. So I need, but the first thing I want to do, I say first thing and then thingy. So I have some grit paste opaque. So it's like texture paste, but it has a slightly different, like it has more of a rough finish, because that other texture paste that I've got is just too thin for what I want to do. So I'm going to have that there. But what I kind of want is I was going to do these after, actually. I'm not going to. I'm going to do this first. So I also want to really rough this photo up on the edges. Like really get in there with my scissors. Gotta be careful I don't cut myself. Scrunch the photo a little bit to put lines in it. I mean, I know this is a vintage photo, guys, but it's not a great vintage photo, so I don't think there's any problem with just making it grungier than it was. Yeah, so like that. And then get some walnut stain. Go around the edges of this. Yeah, so it depends what you guys classify as grungy. I really like grungy. Like, I want it looking messy. I want it looking a bit torn. But I know there's people out there who do grungy so amazingly, and I wish I could kind of get as grungy as that. But you've just got to go with what your style is. I know, like, a lot of people wouldn't like this, and that's okay. Yeah, so that's going to go down. We're going to Mod Podge this tea bag tulip. This was from a few years ago. I was doing the Spring Hop Challenge collaboration, and I'm going to use this one, I think. And I made this cute little pocket. I will leave it down below linked in case you're interested. And I was showing how you can stamp on tea bags and then use that as, you know, in your journals for ephemera pieces. So that's what this tulip is from. I'm just using my Mod Podge. It's going to pick up some of the ink, but that's okay. I don't even want the whole tea bag kind of, I don't mind if some's hanging off at the bottom. Yeah. I know for some people grungy can be quite difficult because, you know, you're working often in darker colours and neutrals, and sometimes it can just feel like you're making such a mess, and then what's the point of taking something so lovely? Oops, sorry about that if you heard that. Someone went past on a motorbike. And making it, you know, grungy and horrible. But then, why not? So So yes, I'm going to leave that bit there, but you can see, we can still see part of the image behind, and we can see the tulip bit. Actually, you see it less in real life than the camera's picking up. So I want to use that on there. I've got some of this really old burnt baking paper. I was writing on the back of it for something else and then realised that I'd written the words the wrong way round. So I've kept it though, because this is so beautiful and grungy. And if I put the photo there, you don't even see that there's words on the back. So, yeah, I'm going to glue that on there. It might not stick. It might need a bit of glue. So let's get that instead. So yeah, we're going to glue that on there and just build up some layers. Come on, glue. That's it. I'm not going to glue down all the corners. Like, I'm going to leave that corner up, I think. I mean, I know this is a vintage photograph. It is actually vintage. I got it from, I brought a whole album, and it was obviously some family's wonderful summer holiday trips around the UK, because a lot of it is set at beaches and they're in swimming costumes and things like that. But some of the photos weren't well developed, or like this one, you can barely see. You know it's obviously a mountain or something, but it's not brilliant. So I don't mind then taking some of those and working with them in a different way. I love it. You'll know if you've seen me, I love using these. They're just the perforated edges of some papers. I love using those. Got some fabrics because I was thinking I would like to do a little bit of stitching and actually stitch using threads. So let's sort that too. Let's move this. I'm going to, I think I'm just going to do some crosses. And I'm not doing it on the page because I don't feel like doing that. I want to do it this way instead. Needle, needle, needle. I know there's a needle in here, but can I find it? No. So let's grab something else and find a needle. I've got this little pot where I keep a lot of my needles in that I haven't used or need to use, or whichever. Then we've got this, just some brown thread. I think I've used this in a couple of the spreads too. So I'm going to use that. I want this and this on there. So let's go in from the back through here, and then just go over and then back through and then over here. Again, the stitching does not have to be perfect. The whole point of grunge is that everything's a bit messy. Now I can see that there. Yeah. through there, and it should hold this fabric on as well. I will glue it as well. And then up through here. There. That will do. Through here. And then over there. So yeah, it's not perfect, and that's fine. Yeah, this piece was left over from an October daily. Oh, where's it gone? I want to put my needle in the little catch there so I know where it is. An October daily from a couple of years ago. So, okay. So we've got some stitching. That's going to go on there, and it can hang over the page because that's cute. I have a couple of quotes. I have, which one? Failure is feedback. Learn from it, grow from it, but never be afraid to start over, which I thought was quite good on here too. And again, I'm going to go around this in walnut stain. I don't know if this is a sticker or not. It's got a strange texture to it. I don't know. I found it in my stash, so I thought, let's use that. That's going to go on there too. Cute. I do have some of this book binding, which is so yummy and grungy. I was wondering about putting that on here. Down the bottom. Let's get rid of that. Like so. I did want some texture paste though. I wanted some blocks, some wool texture paste rather. But now I don't know. I don't know if I need it. Got a different bit of book page. No, I really love this one because I really love like all the texture in that. We do lose some of the texture though if I put it that way. But I also feel like it's too much all down here and there's not enough up there. I don't know. So that is going to probably go there. Could go up here, couldn't it? That could go up there and I could still have the wool. All right. And we're going to add some numbers because, again, I love numbers. I love things like that. I'm not doing a lot to the background, which you can see at the moment, because it's just beautiful. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do something to the background. Where do I want that? No, I want them down here. In there. Okay. Rub that on. Like so. I may add more. Now, I think I want to attach this to the page now because I think I want to start working on the texture paste. So let's really stick this down. I've got lots of fabric here, so this glue and me are not friends lately. It just doesn't want to work very well or come out. And I've cleaned the nozzle repeatedly, and all that kind of thing. So give it a good amount of glue because, you know, there's lots of layers and things. Okay. That's all right. Some more glue on the page. Like that. Down. really that. I always like turning my page over and also pressing down from the other side. I just find that helps when you've got layers on this side, like so. Okay. So there's that. Now we're going to use the texture paste, because I did want to. So I've got this wool stencil, and I'm thinking of doing like a wall, obviously. But now I'm looking at it, and do I want it just coming down like that? Or do I want it across there coming down? Maybe just across here coming down. Okay, so I'm going to use the texture paste on that. And this should work better. I am going to also, where is that? I need something nice and flat. Hold on. Yeah, so I'm going to put something underneath so that it's flatter, so that I get a better press with the stencil and the paste. And then this should help. There we go. Get a good layer of that on there. You press that stencil down. And then I've got to very carefully lift that up. You see how lovely that was, guys? That other texture paste that I've got, I'm sure it's going to be great for other things, but it does not work well for using through my stencils. I just get a really messy, not clean image through, which is fine. Sometimes you want that, so I'll definitely use it then, but for other things I don't. Okay, I'm going to dry this. Okay guys, so you can see with this texture paste you really get a more textured, uneven finish, but I've also held my heat gun close to it so it can bubble as well to give me a little bit more texture. Now you may be saying, Belle, well, that's very white, this is meant to be grungy. So I have my Distress Oxide spray, and I am going to spray a little bit of this onto here. Don't need too much, because then we're going to spray some water and we're going to get that ink moving a little bit. Where's my paintbrush? Got it all in the edge here. Okay. And now what I need to do is lift some of this off and off the photo, and then dry this, and then come back and spray some more. Okay guys, so there's not as much coverage as I wanted, but what I really do like, so I bring this up, if you see here where it's textured, it's fallen in and emphasize those textures. So what I've also done, looks great on the other side too, I've got out the Distress Oxide. Sorry, I'm trying to get it to, there we go, get the ball moving. I've got the black soot one as well. And so I'm going to just spray a little bit, because, you know, you can't have too much grunge. Although maybe you're like, yeah, you can, Belle. What are you doing? A little bit of water, a little bit of water. I'm going to lift some of this off because it's on the photo. I don't want it completely on the photo. Just wanted it on the edge there. And I'm going to dry this again. Okay guys, so that is that. So let me move this larger one out of the way. That needs to go dry. It looks great on the other side as well, guys, like you can see through here. Good, good, good. Still quite white in places, so I'm just going to go in with my walnut stain like so. Okay, so yeah, you can see that. Where's that word? So I wanted the word there. Did I want it up here? No, I feel like I want it there. So we're going to try and glue this down. And I want it to have some dimension. So I'm going to leave it crinkly. And I thought this was quite a good quote because of, you know, art. Some things we try and they don't work. And then some things we try and they do work. But nothing in art is a failure. We just learn from it and we grow and we move and we you know, develop. That's what we do. That's what art is. And I think that's especially true if you are online, like if you are doing things on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook or TikTok, whatever it is. If you are sharing your art on some form of social media, you know, there's a lot of people out there who can judge it and be and not like it, and that's okay, because not everyone can like everything that everyone does. I'm thinking, what else do I want? I think I want these numbers down here. And sometimes I've noticed that, you know, people don't like sharing things that they're not happy with, which is understandable. I tend to share everything, including the things I'm not happy with. You know, there's been pages in this challenge that I have not been happy with. But I try and find something positive in them, or I try and think, well, why aren't I happy? How could I change that next time? I don't know if I could get that on there. Okay, so what I also want to use, because this is one of my favorite products that Tim Holtz does. He only brings it out at Halloween. I really hope he brings it out next year, but it's the Crypt grit paste. Now it's this grey colour to begin with, and it has little black splots in it. Hopefully you can see that. But when it actually dries, it goes more of a greeny, like, kind of colour. So it's grey right now. I'm going to add some of this. Again, this adds more grunge because it adds a different texture and it adds a different colour. I mean, I'm just going grunge today. Like, it's just like, yeah. Just add as much grunge as you want, Belle. So yeah, I will have to come back on once this has dried, because I like it to dry naturally, because you get more of the colour that I like if you let it dry naturally. But I'm just going to add some of this. Yeah, this is one of my favourite things. He also came out with a glow grit paste last year, which, oh my gosh, that is so much fun to use. And I love it, and I do use it. But my problem with it is that realistically, you only get the full effect of it if you're using it for something that you want to glow in the dark. And that is really hard to show on camera. So I have used it in a few projects. But this grit paste, I mean, I love all his texture pastes and things, but this grit paste in particular, the Crypt one, I don't know why, I just really like it. And you can add some colouring to it. Like, I could ink over it a little bit and paint over it. Like so. But I think, guys, I think we're done. I mean, this is probably my grungiest page, possibly. Although same we're done. Now I'm having a look and I'm seeing some lace, some sort of vintage doily lace. I'm just wondering, no, we've got fabric. We don't need any more, Belle. Walk away, Belle. Walk away. And then I just come back and think, oh, well, I'll do that instead then. This is quite a fun piece from book binding because it's still got some of the fabric at the bottom. Well, the only thing I might need is some black splatters, but I'm going to add those when these have dried. So yeah, nice and grungy. And I also need to put the number on here, so I'll have to do that. But I'm going to let this grit paste dry and I will be back to share it with you when it has. So the Crypt paste has now dried and I want to show you. As it was drying, it picked up some of the ink below. So we've got this lovely, really grungy, greeny grey there. And then we've got this up here, which I hope you can see if I bring that up. Yeah, it's got such a great texture. So let me show you again. This is what the grit paste looks like. It's really grey. Let me get a spatula because I can always put it back in. So when it comes out, it's this grey colour with black bits. And you can see that when it dries, they're completely different colours. It goes this kind of dark grungy green colour, which I really love. And as I said, it's picked up some of the ink, so it almost looks like moss on a wall now. So I really like that. So something I wanted to try is I was going to try and add some of my favourite gilding wax because I do really like this stuff. I don't know if it's going to pick up on anything, to be honest. Oh, it's getting to the point I might need to buy a new one of these. But I was just thinking I might put it a little bit on some of the bricks, because it will just give it that little glimmer of something, and a little bit over the grit paste. Oh, I like that. That looks really nice. Oh yeah, I do. I like that. I'm hoping that you'll be able to see what that looks like once I raise that. Can you see the glimmer on it, guys? I'm trying to work out if you can or not. You can see how it's picked up all of the ridges and textures. And then just down here, you just see it on the bricks. But when you're looking at it, it doesn't show as just pure gold. Oh, I like that. I really love how the gilding paste is actually. I'm going to add a little bit more. Picked up the, as I said, all the ridges and things on that. That's really good. And I am going to add some black splatter, because I did want some black splatter on here. So I'm going to just cover up like the photo there. Not all of it, maybe this bit. Mainly the, no, it doesn't matter too much, but let's cover up the words definitely. And then let's see. A little bit of black splatter, just some watered down acrylic paint. Hopefully it's not too big. I like to do them off to the side a little bit first, just to make sure, in case they are too big, the splatters. Okay. Watch me go all quiet as I focus. All right, then. So again, I mean grungy. Yes, definitely grungy. Okay, so now I've got to add the number somewhere. So I need to think about that, and I need to grab my numbers. Okay, I can't for the life of me find my numbers, which is very, very frustrating. My little rub-ons. I didn't want to put the large number. So my options are I could actually write the number on here, but I feel like I want the rub-on because I kind of want it up here under these numbers or over here where this number is. So anyway, guys, that's it. That is day 28. And I really do believe that I have met the brief of grungy. I think this is lovely and grungy. We've used different things on it. The page obviously in the background worked really well because it was an eco-dyed page. I'm going to turn this over carefully so that I don't get, you can see what that's left on the other side, which will be beautiful to work on. Obviously got to be careful because I don't want to move the splatters. But that's it, guys. That's it for day 28. I hope you enjoyed this one. I loved getting a little bit grungy again, and I loved using this Crypt paste, honestly. It's one of my favourite pastes that Tim Holtz has done, and I love most of his pastes, or the ones that I've been able to play with so far. And I'm glad I used the texture paste on here as well. And yeah, I hope you just took some inspiration from this and have a go at maybe using some vintage photos in your own crafting and just have fun getting lots of random bits out and making a fun grungy page. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I will be back again soon with another video. And until next time, wherever you are in the world, I hope you are having lots and lots of crafty fun. Bye for now.